This is Tony Chimmel, and I'd like to introduce the hosts of the Game Marks podcast, George Feis and Johnny Clash.
Welcome to the Game Marks podcast, where each and every week we break down the good, the bad, and the awesome of all things wrestling, video games. My name is George Feis.
And I'm the man they call Johnny Clash, and today we are charging up our iPhone 5s, Galaxy S4s, and playing WWE Presents Rockpocalypse. Jabronis, how will this game hold up? Will it get a play it forever?
Woo!
Or a future endeavor?
You're fired!
Where we also discuss what consoles did wrestling games the most dirty, and more.
And please do not forget to subscribe and leave a 5-star review for this podcast on both Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And make sure to follow along on all forms of social media at Game Marks Pod. And don't forget, you can get early and ad-free episodes of this podcast and access to our exclusive Discord over at patreon.com/Game Marks Pod. Johnny Clash, how are we doing, my friend?
Good. We haven't really discussed stuff lately. There's a serial killer that lives 2 blocks away from me.
We talked about it, off the podcast.
Just trying to drive home every day, and I can't get down the next block because it's insane. For anyone wondering, I live literally 2 blocks from the Gilgo Beach serial killer. Crazy. It is chaos over here. It's constantly helicopters, news reporters. And the crazy part is, so the block is like parallel to me, like by 2.
Okay.
The block in between, the day after it happened, had a block party. So like I went past and I saw like all the barricades and stuff, thinking it had to do with the murderer's house. But it was a block party that they did not cancel. So I could imagine like the news reporters and stuff were trying to like get their shows in, and Flo Rida's like playing come from the next block. Well, let me tell you, at least 200 people out there every day just staring at the house, I guess wondering what they're going to find, surrounded by cops. You can't get within like, I don't know, half a block's radius. Like it's all blocked off. It's crazy over here.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I can't believe that that it's so close to you.
So like when
crazy.
It first broke, like my friend texted me like, you live really close, and sent me just the block. So it's a very long block.
Yeah.
Like even what Gabby Forza from Creative Pro lives on my block, but very far because the block is so long.
It's 1 block, but that 1 block goes like 20 miles or something.
Yeah. So I text even my cousin like, oh, some neighbor you got over there, because I thought it was all the way up by him. Turns out it's all the way down by
you.
Crazy.
Oh my God.
Crazy. Anyway, doors are locked and we're here. We're recording. Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. Things behind me, somewhat getting back to normal.
There you go.
Yeah, trying to get the setup back to where it used to be. But let me tell you something. I'm very excited to jump into this week's game, but we can't jump into this week's game without talking about last week's game with a little follow up here. How you feeling? Legends of Wrestling 2 for the Game Boy Advance. Still out.
Yeah, like the actual Legends of Wrestling 2. I think I'm okay. Like never see this one again.
Yeah. But I don't think that either one of us are ever gonna flip back on that one.
No,
I think that's done for a reason.
No, I mean, after what we just talked about, I hate to say it's in the graveyard, but it's in the graveyard.
Maybe in poor taste, but
yeah, that's my middle name. So someone on Instagram, JK Wright11, brought up to us something about New Japan Pro Wrestling Tokan Retsuden 3 we played a few weeks ago. He says listening to the review, he played it when it first came out and loved it. And there's no official finishers in the game. So like we mentioned, we were kind of going back and forth if there were finishers. But I think they just have like 5 signature moves involved in there that like each wrestler has like a top move. But I fought Scott Norton on that game over 100 times. I beat him less than 5 times. Every other match there was one finish, powerbomb. So he actually told him, Scott Norton himself, that he was the Bo Jackson of wrestling games, and he got a kick out of it. So I think that's pretty cool. Do you think Scott Norton remembers that he's in all these games?
I think Scott Norton is in far more games than we think.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's outside of the AKI THQ games, it's mostly just Japan games.
Oh, yeah.
But he's in
crazy.
So many Japan games. It's insane. I think at some point you kind of have to take stock and realize how much of that you're a part of.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. That would be a fun deep dive one day.
Yeah. It's maybe, I know that we got a running list of who we want to do for these histories, video game histories of. Maybe Scott Norton's got to get it onto the list. But again, problem is there's a lot of Scott Nortons in a lot of the other games where it's
Scott Norton.
This is definitely Scott Norton, but is it Scott Norton though?
Yeah. About that.
Yeah. Well, so are we jumping in? Are you ready to? Honestly, John, I don't have any kind of witty thing. The name of the game is Rockpocalypse. I don't think we're getting any punnier than that. Are you ready to talk about Rockpocalypse?
Let's go.
All right, so WWE Presents Rockpocalypse, released March 29th, 2013. 2013!
10 years ago. What a silly name.
Published by the WWE. This game was available on your iOS and Android phones. And this was developed in partnership with Thruster, which is a division of Bottle Rocket. And other games you've got in 2013, you've got WWE 2K14, which ironically has The Rock on the cover, and a game that we will probably be talking about very, very soon, WWE Presents John Cena's Fastlane, which now that he's a part of the Fast and the Furious franchise, kind of is fun.
If you think about it, I get it, Rockpocalypse is centered around the movie universe, but they could have easily been switched.
Oh, yeah. Very, very easily.
Yeah. The Rock having the Fastlane game. But anyway, 2013, this is when The Rock returned to WWE, kind of somewhat full-time at the time. He was there for a bit. He beat CM Punk at Elimination Chamber. A lot longer than anyone
thought he would be.
Yeah, he won the WWE Championship. He ended CM Punk's reign as, I think it was over 400 days at the time. This all led up to John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania 29, which was twice in a lifetime, after they met at WrestleMania 28 once in a lifetime. It's also when he introduced the new WWE title,
which now is different again.
It's kind of sort of back to a little bit towards this one. I don't know. It's got the gold back. We never talked about the titles here. How quickly 2K23 was out of date.
It's always how it happens.
I am a fan of the Raw title, so I got to say.
I do like it. I do like it a lot.
But let's talk about how this game came to be. On April 1st of 2013, there was a press release put out by the WWE announcing this game as its first ever 3D action mobile game. It was free. It's a free game. There's really no money grab here. And when you play it, you could tell that it's a free game. Of course, it does have its, the perks you have to pay for, the little level ups, the gear and whatnot.
Yeah.
But we say this when we played the playthrough. This game didn't have a long shelf life. You could very much see why. It wasn't supported very long. I'll just say we got the APK file and we played it that way. And
unless you got a 2013 iPhone or Samsung
honestly,
phone,
probably
with this game on it. So it's not even on the app stores anymore.
So you were a Android guy, right?
Then
for a long time,
anymore.
Yeah, me too. I think I went from Droid X all the way up to the Galaxy S10. I was long.
Yeah, I think I was S9, S10.
I had an iPhone 4 somewhere in between there, and I didn't have an iPhone again until this 12. So
I at one point switched to the HTC. I got HTC, and then immediately it was just like, this phone is not great. I'm switching back.
That's terrible. I briefly switched to the BlackBerry Storm. Remember that phone with the clicks? It clicked. But like, I worked on a golf course at the time, and my boss thought it was funny to put the sprinklers on me, and it got the phone wet. And it wasn't the point where we had like IP66 rated screens, and I just got all these like little brown marks on the screen, and anything you pressed from there on out like had to be like triple tapped, or it would like jump across the screen. It was a pain in the ass.
That sucks.
But this was definitely not a game I ever owned on any phone. It was kind of said that the most electrifying man in all of entertainment, no longer sports entertainment, all of entertainment, is in a race to stop the diseased mob from wreaking havoc across a giant movie studio lot in Hollywood. So there's a giant like zombie type invasion happening, and The Rock's the only one that survives, and he's the only one not infected, and it's his job only on this movie lot to cure whatever's going on here. And he said, I am excited to partner with WWE and some of the best game developers in the world to bring something cool for fans to play. Boots to asses style app. This will be fun. Do you think he really said that?
I think he said he's excited to play or to have a game.
What's
and
crazy
he's excited
is,
for people to play it. I don't think he said it exactly like that.
What's crazy is all the games The Rock has been in. This one, he says, I'm excited to partner with the WWE. That's how big The Rock has gotten at this point. And only up from there, really.
Oh, yeah. The Tooth Fairy movie days are long behind him by this point.
Now, the actual gameplay. Now, you'll see in our playthrough, this game is very frustrating. So we did the playthrough.
It's tough.
I went back and I did it again, more in depth. I struggled. It was a little less pressure because you weren't there. It didn't get much better.
I love when you send me text messages post playthrough.
A lot of curses.
And it's just this game, this game period. And I go, which one? And it's just you uninstalling Rockpocalypse. Fuck this. All right, I got it. I understand what he's saying now.
Just not a fan. I don't know. It's not like I've played stupid games on the phone. Like you get those ads for like the stupid game where you gotta pull the key and the water comes out and the guy's drowning and you gotta keep pulling.
But that game's not even that game.
I know, and then they're saying it's actually the game you see, and it's still not the game you see.
But I want that game. That game is great. Where you like
football kick games and those stupid games.
I always see the ads for something is running along like a colored road, and it's like
always
plus 10.
Yeah,
divided by 12, and it's just like
keep gaming different people, or there's zombies around.
They always purposely do the wrong answer, so it makes you mad, and you're like, I could do this better. And yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, it's never what it is. None of it's Marvel Snap, which is also getting a little pay to play at this point.
I'll be honest with you, I have not played that game in months.
I know. I haven't gotten an update from you. I'm still going strong. That's my 3 a.m. I have to keep myself awake while I feed my baby game.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Like that keeps my brain actually moving so my eyes don't close while I'm feeding her.
Well, because anything else would be you watching something and you would 100% fall asleep.
Oh, absolutely. And I got podcasts, audiobooks going. You know what I don't have going is the Rockpocalypse. This game.
Why not?
Woof. So pretty much once you load in, you get kind of the most briefest tutorial on how to play. You have to swipe certain ways to block, swipe certain ways to dodge, and then swipe certain ways and tap to strike and uppercut. And it is very difficult. It's just a flurry of attacks from the other guy. It's kind of like turn-based, but not at the same time. Like you'll hit a few strikes, but if a certain amount of blocks, they'll hit a few strikes. It's really just... I don't know. It didn't feel like much strategy, but even once I got a strategy, it still felt like no strategy.
It's just one of those games that over time, as you go through the game, either the speed ramps up or the damage ramps up. That's pretty much
Yeah.
it. You're still, the controls really don't change. Your gear levels up that you wear, and then the enemies that you're fighting move faster, do more damage, and there's like, we'll talk about it a little later, there's like challenges and stuff, but like it's not an exciting game to play.
It doesn't feel complete. I get it. It's just a game you could sit there and play. I assume at the time, like we played an APK file, I assume at the time it was riddled with ads and a whole bunch of load
100%.
times and all that. And this is where we get down to the money grab part, because you get coins in the game. So I couldn't beat the second level in our playthrough. So I went in the store and I used the coins I got from the 2 levels I beat, and I just ramped up my health. So you're constantly getting the coins. You're constantly, after each match, leveling up like the clothes you're wearing, which also provide you with perks. And then you could go buy new ones of those. But there's a store where you could buy coins. And that's where they get you. Say you can't beat a guy, which most of the time you can't. You either wait for the coins, which are very hard to come by, or you buy them. And who's saying, like, I know there's been times years ago, like I play tap baseball again, but this time I refused to buy anything.
That's
Or years ago, I was like, oh yeah, coins. Let me go, $9.99, whatever. I mean,
Well, because you know what it is? It's the same thing kind of that Snap does. So it's $2, $5, $20, $50, $100. And then at a certain point, you're just like, well, I bought the $5 one like 10 times.
I'm not upset with games like Snap, because a lot of the times it's just variants and coins.
Yeah.
And coins will just get you different variants. Or like the card of the month or the week, which you're going to probably get anyway. So I'm not that mad at it. And the whole like battle pass type deal in Snap also, it's like, whatever.
I did it once.
Okay.
It's
fine.
They're not, the options are there. They're not greedy.
Yeah. Okay. So once you're going through all these sound stages, first of all, the games all start with a quote from The Rock, which some of them are funny. Some of them are, oh, if you smell what I'm cooking. Some of them are all boots to asses. So I hope you like dessert because The Rock's about to feed you some thunder cookies, a biatch. That's my favorite one. That's the one I was trying to think of in our playthrough. Instead, I said bitch cookies. I was very wrong.
Yeah, bitch cookies is also kind of good.
Now, when you were watching me the first time, there were blue highlights coming across the screen that we didn't know what they were. Those are actually clues that you have to go find within the environment and find hidden objects. And then those will help you along the way also.
That makes a lot more sense.
You can also find coins there. So remember you said that looks like an apple pie. I think that was just coins that I didn't get. You could also change The Rock's outfit.
Which, you know what? In a game that involves you predominantly looking at The Rock's back, you might as well put him in a camo vest. Or
he starts out like the Rundown Rock.
He is Rundown Rock.
Yeah. Great
White
movie.
T-shirt.
Underrated.
Remake.
They're remaking it?
No, it's a remake.
Oh, yeah. So is the other one, Walking Tall.
And that's Adam Sandler.
Did you just confuse The Rock with Adam Sandler?
No, I for some reason I got mistaken for a second. I thought The Rock was in The Longest Yard. He's not in. Every other wrestler is in The Longest Yard.
You think The Rock's going to be in a movie with Goldberg? I don't think so. But, I mean, I'll be honest here. That's the premise of this, and you progress as you go. You go to different sound stages. Some of them are just simple sound stagey looking things. Some of them are like an ancient Egypt temple. Some are the streets. But I don't know, man.
You're fighting in like a water treatment facility at one point. It's
there's honestly,
it's a game.
All right, let's break it up here. First of all, I'm going to read the roster, The Rock, and then we're going to talk about the artwork. And by artwork, I mean the little icon on your iOS screen.
Which you know what?
Might be the best part of this whole game.
I was just going to say, I actually really like it. It kind of looks like the WWE Championship. But if
right?
it was
The
just
little
The Rock.
side plate. It's got a nice Brahma bull with the WWE logo. It's all gold and decked out and embedded, and whatever it's called, bezeled or beveled. Oh my God. I couldn't think.
What do you do for a living?
Avoid bevel at all costs. That's what.
He was embezzling money, guys.
Embezzling money. Let's talk about the actual screen, the HUD, the angles,
Oh,
everything.
wait a second, John.
Uh-oh.
I found an alternative or a higher quality version of it. There's like weird. There's like
Aztec-y tattoo stuff in the background.
Is it his like chest tattoo in the background of the icon?
It looks like an illustrated version.
That's kind of cool. It's like a little extra detail in the icon there.
Yeah, I like that. But the art style here, I gotta say, not a bad looking game.
For what it is, it's
think-
not bad.
I think it got criticized a little bit from stuff that I read. Like for what it looks like. Like you mentioned sometimes while I'm playing, like, oh, your arm just looked like it broke in half. Or the trailer in the back might not be the most rendered out thing. But The Rock himself and every other, I don't want to call them zombies, whatever, infected person you encounter, even though they all somewhat look like Vin Diesel, which I think might have been the point. They all look okay. Like you're on a little iOS screen. The iPhone 5 was not big at all. Maybe a 3-inch screen.
Yeah, it was not.
Being generous. At the time, you were not getting your full screen games like you're getting now.
There's still a Facebook page for this game.
There is. Fastlane as well. I actually saw that. What was the last update?
The last post was November 1st, 2013. And they said,
Damn.
What's the top level you've reached in WWE Presents Rockpocalypse?
Did
It's
anyone
a page
comment?
that tagged their own page. And the intro says, It isn't the end of the world until the Great One says it is. Download Rockpocalypse now for iOS and it doesn't say an Android. It just says and.
Did people like actually comment on it?
So we have one comment that says jabroni. Then the post before that was October 24th, and it said, what is the baddest looking goon you've defeated in WWE Rockpocalypse? Again, tagging themselves.
Oh, The Rock posted it too.
And what weapon did you use to thump the bad guy? And someone commented and just said WWE.
Wrestling fans don't know how to write.
Here's a post just for Johnny Clash. Eat your thunder cookies. A new
Yes.
WWE Rockpocalypse contest starts tomorrow.
Now, the Dwayne The Rock Johnson page also posted about it. And these are the comments. Sorry you lost the belt. May your pillow be cool, your bed soft, and your dreams sweet. Good night, my friend. Which some random people liked. Finally, The Rock has come back to iOS. Want The Rock to win, but you could see the writing on the wall. Also, Cena said tonight he won't change the design of the belt. Rock will be back someday, but hate to say it, Cena is the face right now. Would love to see Stone Cold come back. Oh, how times have changed in 10 years.
It was 2013?
10 years ago.
Damn.
There's barely any title defenses on Raw anyway. It doesn't matter who the champion is. So I guess this came out right after he lost the belt. This is funny. What a time warp, right? Like we'll read old wrestling comments.
I think that's the best thing about Facebook pages is that you just get these like you said, like this time capsule of just like what were this is obviously, one of the posts that I read before, it's tagged as being posted from Stamford, Connecticut. So like obviously this is someone that works for WWE that's making these posts, and it's just like, do they know that they're like this time capsule and this is just on Facebook forever? Like until they remove it?
Crazy. I don't know. This is like legit a time capsule here. Yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to like block all of that out, but I remember CM Punk turning on The Rock.
Oh, when he just dove over and hit that clothesline. Oh,
when times were good. Let's talk about the HUD here on the screen. So you have up top a health bar with under it a stamina bar. The stamina bar goes down really quick unless you upgrade that stat. The health bar also kind of goes down quick, and it carries over between level. And from what I figured, if you lose, you start at the beginning of a level, which I hate, and it sucks.
The health closes out every chapter. So like there's 2 levels to a chapter.
You buy coins and up your stat.
Yep, that's it, and that's how they get you. I don't know. I wanted this to be I don't know. I have like high hopes for these games when they're just like, here's a one-off game of like The Rock and an apocalypse. Like I almost kind of wanted this to be like, okay, Crush Hour is by far not the greatest game we've ever played.
No,
but there are aspects of it that are fun.
Yeah, I agree. That's
kind of what I was hoping for here. Where it's like, the game is ridiculous, the concept is ridiculous, but hey, there are really fun elements in that. That's okay. Like, that makes it worth it. And,
yeah,
not so much.
As I'm looking at, like, screenshots, it kind of reminds me of, like, the backgrounds and stuff from WrestleMania 19, like, Revenge Mode. Like, the construction site and all that. It's a little similar.
That's very true.
But I also don't want to compare this game to my favorite game, so I'm not going to.
No. I don't blame you. Let's talk about this ad that they did, because the cover art wasn't a lot to talk about. And the title screen really either isn't a lot to talk about. It's The Rock with the new title belt, and it just says Rockpocalypse and play. That's really it. There's not a lot of bells and whistles.
And it looks like a third grader designed it.
Different times. The aesthetic for video games...
not different times.
No, for mobile games, the aesthetic wasn't the same for, mobile games weren't then what they are today. And then for the ad, it says Rockpocalypse, bigger, better, new enemies, new levels, new weapons. And it shows a picture of The Rock with like lava molten fists, which...
Just going to say, TNA Impact came out 2 years before this and is night and day better.
Ah, shit, yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. Great game.
No, when you're right, you're right. I will happily admit when you're right. So,
but what you just read this new enemies, new levels thing, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking up TNA.
No, it's all good. But that was a good point. You're allowed to not listen when you're looking up facts to make
you do it all the time. This is actually the ad for the second season that came out when they added more stuff, probably realizing it was a flop and they needed to do bigger, better.
There's not a lot to it, and I think that's the main problem. But at the same time, I think they kind of knew that.
Yeah,
and also doesn't give me high hopes for John Cena's Fastlane.
Yeah. Speaking of Fastlane, did you know? Did you know, we already talked about this, this game came out only a few months before John Cena's Fastlane, leading to the two's WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 29. I was there.
Oh, did you know? This game was updated in June of 2013, including, guys, guess what? New enemies, new levels, and new weapons.
Not much to go on here. Did you know this game was criticized for being a ripoff of Infinity Blade and Power Rangers Legends? Now, the upgrade here that you're getting with this new, season is now an electrifying update is available for the free, they keep emphasizing free 3D combat game, John, that will give you an even more powerful arsenal to take down your opponents, plus immersive new levels to explore. With numerous fresh weapons and accessories, you'll turn the Brahma Bull into a more dangerous fighting machine as you go to war against new enemy types hellbent on destruction. They should have just ported WrestleMania 19 and called it a day.
That's a way better idea. It's a way better idea. I can't even fault you for that.
But okay, it's time for you to sit back a little bit. Unfortunately, I can't.
I'm not going to sit back. There's not a lot.
There is no iOS store for this. I don't believe.
No, it was completely removed from everything. It's not on Android.
Sometimes you could still see the iOS store. For this one, you cannot. So I don't have those ratings, but Modojo, which is a mobile site, gives it a 5 out of 10. GameZebo also gives it a 5 out of 10 and says Rockpocalypse is okay for a short while before it becomes tiresome, and not even the jabroni-beating, pie-eating, trailblazing, eyebrow-raising people's champ can save it by himself without some improvements elsewhere. ProWrestling.net says, while far from perfect, WWE Rockpocalypse is a decent first effort from WWE. Hardcore gamers will find it repetitive and sometimes buggy. I think everyone will. Fighting sequences are a drag, but more casual gamers will appreciate the simplicity. I think that's really it. It kind of praises the voiceover work and that it's free. And if you had to pay, it would be 10 times worse. And I agree. But yeah, it's free. Try it out. If it's always free, say there's a game right now you were thinking about. Try it out if it's free. If you have to start paying to play, get out of here. For a long time, I was playing this hockey game. It was such a cool game. It was the closest thing to NHL I ever found on a phone. But then once you got to you could only play 3 games a day until you refresh your coins, I was like, I'm out. See ya. Delete. But now I have my Razer Kishi backbone, and I just play NHL. So whatever.
Your Rikishi backbone?
Back it up. Right? Wasn't that what the shirt said? Back that thing up?
Back. I think it just said back that ass up. I think they sugar-coated.
George.
Count.
It's time to rate the game.
The game!
It's a countdown week, John.
You know, wait. I'm gonna make myself do some editing here. Give me the Y2J countdown. You're fired! Future Endeavor.
No way.
I would say not only Future Endeavor because it's not available anymore. I actually have it, and I still don't ever want to play it again.
It's just nothing.
No, but it's on my virtual Galaxy S7, so it's okay. It's technically not on my computer.
There's nothing else to say about this game. It's just it's not.
Throw it away. We'll see you. We'll talk about it a little more when we hit John Cena's fast lane.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the soft lock question? Maybe we can find some interest here.
This is going to be a good one. Soft lock time. All right, the soft lock question is a question that one of our mega marks from our Patreon channel asked us. It could be a question of the week, a topic to debate, whatever you want to call it. This week it comes from Soups, Jamie Patterson, and Soups would like to know what system has done wrestling games worse. And we're gonna be put on hard mode here because the easy answer is Xbox, but he said no Xbox. So
that would easily be my first answer too.
100%.
We talked about it last week.
The Wii U has no wrestling game, so it can't be the Wii U.
Does the Wii? Oh, Wii has like SmackDown vs. Raws, right?
Yeah, but they're not great. That's my like the answer that I'm like, this may be it. It might be the original Wii. The Switch is okay. The Wii, not so much. Like PlayStation, great. PlayStation 2, great. PlayStation 3, great. 360, great. 1S, PS5, all great.
I think I'm going to say Dreamcast because of what we spoke of last week where you don't get enough.
Yeah, I think...
You know what? I'm going with the Game Boy Color.
Oh...
I could deal with the King of the Rings and whatever's on the Game Boy. I obviously love Road to WrestleMania. I've said it so many times, and Road to WrestleMania X8 on the Advance. Game Boy Color had shit. Attitude sucked. Mayhem sucked. They all sucked.
I'm looking. The Game Gear has 3 wrestling games.
Raw was on that, right?
Steel Cage Challenge, and Raw.
That's acceptable. And Dreamcast had what?
Royal Rumble,
Attitude, and some Japanese titles.
Yes.
So Dreamcast is like a close second, but Game Boy Color.
No, I think you nailed it. It's
WrestleMania
either,
2000 was trash.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Oh, Betrayal, which came out in the Game Boy Advance era.
John has made the decision for both of us because there is no better argument that can be made. The system that has done wrestling the dirtiest, for sure, is the Game Boy Color.
I still want to say Xbox.
But it is 100% Xbox. Xbox is the answer. But number 2, for sure, Game Boy Color, without question.
It's just crazy to me. Like, they were putting out games on multiple consoles, even Crush Hour. Why couldn't it go on the Xbox? It was on the GameCube. It was on the PlayStation. I don't know. At least they figured it out for the 360 era. They're like, we can't go through this again. We can't put out WrestleMania 23 and no.
This is the one that I really hope people go out of their way to reach out on social media and let us know, because this is a great question. Again, thank you very much, Soups. This is one, not only hard mode is fantastic, but 2, just the question itself is a really good one, because it's got to be the Game Boy Color. I don't know what else it could be.
I think that's the final answer.
John, would you like to let the fine people at home what we are playing this week in the series of John Picks the Games for the podcast?
All right, so we're going to have a little breath of fresh air here. All-Star Pro Wrestling 3 for the PlayStation 2.
Series that we like a lot. Going back and playing the third one.
Yeah, I'm
4
ready.
Total, right?
No, this is it.
Oh, this is the final one.
This is it.
I thought there was one more. All right. I can't wait to dive into that one. Ladies and gentlemen, youtube.com/GameMarksPodcast for our weekly playthrough videos and a whole lot more. GameMarksPod.com/shop for all of our exclusive merchandise. ProWrestlingTees.com/GameMarksPod for all of our shirts. Patreon.com. You've heard of talk about it before. $5 gets you early and ad-free.
That's right.
And access to the Discord. The Discord is great. Discord is it's a riot. Everyone in there is fun. We talk about a lot of things. There's an entire channel that's just dedicated to trying to get people to do kickflips. It's fantastic. You can get access to that patreon.com/GameMarksPod, at GameMarksPod on all forms of social media. And please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. And again, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Even if you've done it, please do it again. It helps us out so much. And
maybe we'll do a little contest again soon.
Man, I think so. We got a lot of 8x10s. A lot of 8x10s. And if you have a product or a service you would like to advertise on this podcast, please reach out to us. GameMarksPod@gmail.com. That's it. Another episode in the bag. Hopefully, All-Star Pro Wrestling 3 is better than Rockpocalypse. My hopes are high. Johnny Clash, do that thing.
Game over, Marks.
Game Marks Podcast, put them on the radar. Playing rare games, Sega Saturn, no Game Shark. Johnny and George work hard and they play hard. Future endeavor games and put them in the graveyard. From the deep dive to the clash at the feast. How can I get more? That's question of the week. Follow on Twitch, there's nothing that they won't play. Game Marks Podcast every single Monday.